Alright, so today I picked up the Kobalt Workbench. I went ahead and got the stainless steel one. It's $300 currently. They make two. The black one for $200 and a stainless steel one for $300. The black one has a particle board top, while the top on the stainless steel one is real wood. So I went with the stainless steel one. I'm just going to do a quick unboxing video so you can see how it comes. The box is 120 pounds, so you be your own judge if you want to carry it around. Lowe's currently charges $40 for assembly, so I guess you could use this video to see if you want to assemble it yourself or if you want to just have them do it for the 40 bucks. Okay, let me get some of these pieces out and I'll show you where to start. Okay, while I was unboxing it, I noticed a couple of things I just wanted to kind of point out as I go. If you can see here, I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but you can see that the finish, it's not all like perfect stainless steel. You are going to find some pieces that have scratching, some more severe than others, like this piece over here. It's got some pretty good machine marks on it, as you can see, and unfortunately it is a spot where there's the handle. But each piece is individually wrapped, so it should be pretty minimal. The other thing I noticed on some of these pieces, on some of the more load-bearing ones, I think it looks like they'll have some blue residue. I'm assuming that's some Loctite substitute, so you may not have to buy that yourself. And then lastly, I noticed that instead of rolling these up, they kind of kept them flat like this, which is really nice because when you buy these drawer liners in the rolls, they kind of never flatten out properly unless you put a bunch of tools on them. So those are just a couple things. I'm going to keep unboxing here and get everything laid out. Alright, so this is what it looks like with everything all out. Quite a bunch of stuff, but it all looks like it's going to be pretty self-explanatory. You know, if you've ever put together any other kind of table, everything's labeled. They've got these little labels for what pieces correspond in the manual. So we go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to construct one of the sides of the base. They're pretty self-explanatory because you can see that these pillar pieces are where it touches down. See how they touch the ground. So what you're going to need is you're going to need one of these back ones, one of the front ones, a side piece, and another side piece. Now the instruction manual has us starting on the left side. As you can see, the right side has the cutout for the power strip. So we're going to start on the left side, which doesn't have anything. So it'll just be this flat piece on the side. So go ahead and get those. It looks like most of the screws are all the same size, if not all of them are the same size, so that's going to be really handy. And we're just going to make basically this A-frame here. Alright, so this is what it's going to look like. As you can imagine, this is the front, that's the back. The next step is going to be adding the interior drawer piece. As you can see, it's labeled 8L. Okay, and this is just going to fit right here like this. So we're just going to go ahead and screw it on, and then what the manual calls for is just assembling the other side, which is essentially the same thing, but it is going to have this piece and this piece. So it's going to be the same thing, but we're just going to build this piece into here. So I'll go ahead and set that up. So we'll have both the side pillars ready with the drawers, with the drawer sliders. Alright, so up to this part it's been pretty straightforward. All I've needed was a knife to open the box and a screwdriver here. But when we get to this part over here, what you're going to want to do, this piece comes kind of assembled already. You want to go ahead and take it apart, just so that you can mount this. You mount this, and then this piece goes underneath it, like this. You go ahead and you mount this bracket to hold the extension cable onto it. Okay, so what you're going to need is a 7mm. You can use a socket or wrench, whatever you want to use. but there's some little nuts that are going to need to be 7mm. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this piece on here. I'm going to put this underneath, and then you just thread this cable through the grommet here. Just thread it through, just like that. Alright, once you've got your two sides built, they'll stand on their own like this, which is really handy. You're going to need 2 of the 11 pieces. Those are just these long ones, and they're going to go in the front and in the back the same way, just like this. That's kind of going to give us our form for the table. So go ahead and do that. Alright, we're starting to actually look like a bench here. The next piece you're going to need is this big one. This is the bottom shelf. So you're going to go ahead and just kind of set it in there. You may want to get too close to do this, just because if you're not careful, you can bend it. And as you see, when I just put it in here, this piece did not go over the top of the lip. You want to make sure that it's all over the top here, because then it'll support the load better. So go ahead and align that, and then it's going to take, I think 8 screws to just sink it down together. Alright, so I've gone ahead and installed this piece. The manual actually calls for 8 screws, but there are 12 holes, so I'm not sure what the discrepancy is. I guess I'll find out as I go. I'm not sure if the manual's out of date or what the deal is, but the next piece you're going to want is the 14 piece. It's the one with the keyholes in it. This one's just going to go like this, 4 more screws, so pretty easy, just as we've been doing. Alright, so the next part that's going to go in is the 10. This is just basically the center eye bar for the drawers. The way this works is on one side you'll notice that there are 4 bolt holes. This is going to get screwed to this right here. So what you can do is you can either screw the screws in and just as the normal keyhole functions, push it in and then let it go down, and that's okay. You'll also need to keep in mind that your 13 piece will be going on the front here. So this will just go right like that. Okay, so go ahead and install these 2 pieces. Alright, the next part that we're going to put on once you've got the drawer installed is this piece of wood. One note on the drawer centerpiece. May be easier to have one person hold this as you're putting it in. I did it with one person, but if there were 2 people, you can kind of prevent this from wrenching down while you're putting it together. So take your piece of wood, or if you got that black one, your piece of particle board, and you can set it in here, and there are going to be some holes underneath, and you can actually screw this down. If you go into Lowe's and you try and check this out, this probably won't be screwed down. I noticed that they don't do that for the floor models. I don't know if it's so you can pick it up or they just didn't do it. But anyway, there are some screws on the sides and then in the middle. And just go ahead and put those in. Alright, after installing this wood top, I now understand why the people at Lowe's don't install it. It's really kind of a pain to install. What I had to do was I just got a really long extension on a 1/4 inch ratchet handle with a number 3 bit, and that will let you just reach up under here like this and tighten it down. But if you just have a screwdriver, it's going to take a lot more time, so you may want to try and procure one of these. Next step we're going to work on is just building the drawers. Now the drawers use different screws. The manual calls them BBs. These are just a little bit smaller, well, actually a lot smaller. And so we're going to need our 15L piece, our 16R, we've got a 19, we've got an 18, and then we've got one of the square, pretty self-explanatory, just shelf bottoms. So go ahead and get these, and then they're going to go together, I mean, pretty much as you see them, just build a drawer. Alright, so we've got the first drawer assembled. As you can see, put the piece in there already. And then just build the second and third ones just the same way. Pretty pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go through it, but basically make the 3 drawers and we'll go from there. Alright, just in case you're having trouble putting these drawers in, I'm going to show you how to put this one in. Just all you need to do is pull these out, and then you line up the channel. It's like kind of like an H shape. Just line it up, put it in one side, and then put it in the other side, and then hold these, and you'll hear it snap. Do it on the other side, and just like push it in, and then that's all you need to do. Now, I'm noticing these 2 are good, but this one, I don't know if you can see it, it's not in alignment. What that means, it's because these holes are kind of oval shaped, so whenever you screw stuff in, it's not precise. So what I'm going to have to do is take out all these drawers and loosen up the channel piece here and push it back, and that'll get them in alignment. So there, so now you should have all the drawers in your unit. The next thing we're going to do is get the pegboard on. Alright, so putting this hood together is actually really easy, so I'm not going to go through anything other than these little scissor things. May have forgotten they're in the package, but these are the hinges that go for the top of the top here. So just make sure that you're installing these hinges. It'll make it so that the door can't over open and therefore break the back hinge, yeah, they're necessary. Alright, this is how these hinges work. You'll want to put the long part of the scissor on the door and the short part over here. If you can see, this leg of the scissor goes on the bolt side. This one also goes on the bolt side. They're inverse. And as you can see, it just stops it from opening too far and breaking the hinge. So that's how that works. Alright, so lastly we have the light, and this is pretty easy to install actually, really self-explanatory. Basically you've got your light bar here. It's got a port on this side and a little adapter, so you can plug it in here so that the cable plugs into it. And you've got these 2 little clips that just screw in right up here. So with the included 2 screws, you're just going to screw these in here, and then this just clips up into it. So go ahead and do that. Alright, the last thing they list to do is just hang these hooks on the side. So you can go ahead and do that. And we'll go ahead and make some room for this. It does have 4 outlets here, but I went ahead and bought one of these for $30, and I'm going to install it at the top here so that I have enough power for anything that I'm doing. I think it was about $30 at Lowe's as well. Alright, so this is it all set up. Overall, for $300, I'm a little disappointed in the build quality of some of these things. I noticed when I was building it that some of these holes for the AA machine screws had shards in them, like, you know, when the machine goes through to tap the holes, there were some leftover shards. I guess if you had a tap, you could clean up the holes. I'm happy with how sturdy it is. For $300, I don't think you're going to find anything better. I think it's a lot better than the one at Harbor Freight for $100. But there is room for improvement on some of these things. In retrospect, I think I would have just bought the black one. I don't think that the stainless steel really added $100, but currently there's a coupon for 10% off if you go to the Lowe's website, and you can insert your address and they'll mail you a 10% off your purchase on one receipt. So for $270, I think it was pretty good, and I'm happy with it. Alright, thanks for watching.